Being 6:02, I will open the September 11th, 2023 meeting of the Conservation Commission. And go to the first item, item number 1, an extension request of order of conditions for 45 and 63 Burley Road, applicant Sullivan and Wister Limited Partnership. It's a request for a 3-year extension to their order of conditions. Similar to, I believe, the last meeting, we had the solar array. Once again, there's an issue with them being able to timely build the solar array because of the review that Instar and Eversource have. So with that, I will accept the motion.
I'll make that motion.
The
I'll second.
motion to continue for 3 years, the order of conditions for 45 and 43 Burley Road. All in favor, say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Item number 2, request of determination of applicability. I said it right. For 5 Glad Street, applicant Sam Spokman, over Michael Norton. Is there someone here?
My name is David Mason, and I am here on behalf of Sam Speakman and Speakman Construction.
Thank you. Okay, sir. Can you just give us a short presentation?
Yes, it's an existing situation with a existing system tank and leach pit in the rear yard. During the perk test, it was discovered that there is some wetlands out beyond the lawn area. So we ended up doing test holes in the front yard in order to relocate the system. So because of the wetlands, we're relocating the well to accommodate the new location of the septic leaching and a new well location. The tank and pump chamber would have to remain in the rear yard, 10 feet off the house, because it's a finished basement and the plumbing is under the slab.
Okay. Now, if I read the plan correctly, you feel you are outside the 100-foot buffer zone, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. The plan was a little busy for my eye, but anyway, it seemed to me that was the case. I don't know if anyone else has any comments they want to make. Do we concur that that is outside the buffer zone?
It looks like it.
Okay, I'll accept a motion that is a negative determination.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, sir, negative determination.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You also.
Good night.
Item number 3, continue notice of intent, 1 Tasha Lane. This was before the board last week. We had a hearing on the matter. And all we need is a file number.
Yes, and we have received the DEP file number.
Okay.
There were no comments.
Okay, we have a file number now on the application for notice of intent. There was an issue about a covenant.
Yes, so through the planning board, there's still a covenant being held on that lot. So no building permits will be issued until the covenant is released.
Okay, so just is still a part here? No.
The representative is also on the Zoom.
Okay. All right. All right. I would make a condition of the application that the covenant be removed before we would, release it, but other than that, it seems like, everything is in order. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
motion is made and seconded, to approve the notice of intent. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Number 4, notice of intent, 1 Thomaset Way, applicant Brian Thomaset, representative Robert Nasser, scope of work, ground mounted solar array. All right, do you have any plans?
I can screen share them.
Okay, all right. Brian, we're gonna put the plans up on the board as it is.
Yes, that's all set.
Okay, so.
Nope, so it's all set. We got all the green card.
All right, Brian, can you tell us? We had talked about some changes to the plan. When will they be available?
He said maybe 2 weeks, maybe.
Okay. Because we're going to, we'll open a hearing, but we're going to have to continue. All right. So I'm going to ask for a motion to open the hearing for notice of intent, 1 Thomaset Way.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Motion.
second.
Motion made and seconded to open the hearing. All right, Brian, can you tell us a little bit about what you want to do? And then, like I said, we're gonna have to continue the hearing to get a firmer plan. But if you tell us a little bit about what you're going to do, so if there's anyone here who's in a butter, they will have a little bit of an understanding going forward.
Excuse me, you would just need a motion to waive the reading of the public
Okay,
hearing
fine,
notice, if you're not gonna
course.
read it.
Make a motion to waive the notice of public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Okay, that being said, all right. Can you explain a little bit? So are there any abutters to Thomaset Way here? No, all right, well, you just inform the other
All I
commissioners.
wanted to say was, we did move it over the weekend, towards the driveway more,
Uh-huh,
another 5 feet over,
uh-huh,
which the fence line is out of where we
Okay.
talked about
uh-huh,
before.
right,
Everything's pushed over more and just waiting for the engineer to come to do his survey.
okay, okay, that sounds good. Also, probably we would be good to have like every elevation lines every foot. So we have a good idea of where the water is gonna
He's
drain.
gonna be doing that also, but
Okay,
he couldn't give me a good date.
okay.
He,
All right.
he just,
And just to add to the plan, if with any changes, when we spoke earlier, last week, you said you wouldn't be doing any tree cutting. But if that changes, would you just put that on the plan and how you would go about it?
I don't believe there is gonna be any tree cutting.
Right.
Except for the Christmas trees that I showed you,
Uh-huh,
we use those. That's why
right,
they
yeah,
were
okay,
cut.
yeah, I mean, cutting for the
No.
solar, not for any harvest or anything like that. Okay,
And actually moving it to 5 feet even helps even more.
yeah, okay, fine. So we'll continue for 2 weeks. If it's all right with you, we will continue the hearing for 2 weeks,
Our next meeting is October
date?
2nd.
October 2nd, The
October 10th,
October 2nd,
2nd.
okay? And if you can have the plans in by then, it, we'll go forward from there.
Yeah, if we can, if we can do it.
Okay, if not, and you just want to give Victoria a call if it's not gonna happen. And we'll have to formally continue it, but you wouldn't have to come 2 weeks and sit here just to have it continued.
I'll try
Just
to
give her a shout.
get him going on.
Okay,
He didn't seem to.
we'll do the best we can. We'll work through it.
Well,
All right?
all right,
Okay, thank you.
well, good.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank
All right.
you.
Just
Have a good,
the formal motion to continue.
a motion, to continue the meeting to October 2nd
I'll make
COA.
that motion.
at
I'll
the
second.
COA. Okay, motion is made and seconded, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
okay. Item number 5, notice of intent, 108 Proprietors Way, applicant Resendes Associates, Representative Niles Zager. Now does it come up, and I'll accept the motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Motion
I'll
is
second.
made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll accept the motion to waive the notice of the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, Mr. Zager, if you identify yourself for the record.
Yes, sir. Good evening. For the record, now Zager from Zenith Consulting Engineers. We're here before you, excuse me, for, with a notice of intent filing. And what we've done is we've, filed this under what's called a limited project. It's a limited project due to the nature of the project. It's basically just all it is a crossing. I say all, it's a crossing through a wetland, off of Proprietors Way, which is off of Chase Road, to access a, currently vacant, site, which you can see would be to the left of the plan. So basically what we've done is we've had the wetland delineated, in the front of the lot, in the front of Proprietors Way at the intersection of Chase Road. It was delineated by Steve Schmiel, who we have used in town many a times. And he had, demonstrated that it is a bordering vegetated wetland. We are proposing to access this site. In order for us to access the site, we have to do about 4,300 square feet of wetland disturbance. It's under the 5,000 square feet that triggers Army Corps, so that's good. We are proposing a 1.5 to 1 ratio of replication, so I believe it's just over 6,000 square feet, 6,600 square feet. I forget exactly the number, but we are proposing that replication on the actual lot where Mr. Veloso will be eventually potentially building on them. You can see that will be to the left bottom of the plan. That's the replication area there. Correct. And there's a blow up of it in the middle of the plan there that demonstrates all the vegetation. There's a wetland seed mix that would be used in order to create that new wetland. As far as the filing goes, we're proposing we're doing a I believe it is a 12-foot wide gravel with 3 foot, 4 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot shoulders. So 14, but then a 3 and 3, so it's 20 feet. It's 20 foot to meet the fire code. And we are providing a turnaround at the end. It's all outside the buffer zone. And then if you look at the end where that turnaround is on Proprietors Way, we're showing a 20-foot wide clearing access way that gets us to and a portion of that is in that 100-foot buffer zone that gets us to that replication area. So that basically just be at the time would just be a temporary disturbance just to get out to the site and be able to do the replication. The crossing itself, like I said, is what's considered a limited project. When you have no other means of access but to go through a wetland, you file what's called a limited project. That is something that's done through the Wetlands Protection Act, and that's why we're here before you for that. As far as that crossing goes, we provided two 12-inch ADS pipes culverts that are gonna span the width of the road of the driveway. And that, all that is just to allow water to pass from one side to the other. In DEP's letter that, or their file number, when they issued it, they mentioned about the potential existence of a stream. I provided documentation, from our wetland scientist. There's no perennial stream there. It's not even mapped on the USGS map, which we provided documentation for that. That's where you determine whether it is perennial or intermittent. It does show an intermittent stream, but there is no intermittent stream there. There's no bank. It's basically just a flooded wetland. There may have been a water body there at one point, but I believe from all the years of other driveways going in, abutting driveways and work done in the area, the existence of that stream channel is not existent. So all that would do is would cause more resource area filing. There would be more filing required as far as, with the buffer zone from the bank, and, different resources there, but, that is, again, not in existence. I provided documentation to the commission on that, as well. And then lastly, as far as the replication goes, the way that works is, the state requires a 1-to-1. We always provide a minimum of 1.5 to 1. That way it gives, because you need a 75% grow rate. And in order to do that, to get 75%, it's always good to have a little extra in case there is some failure. So you at least get the 100%. What we do is, and what I would like to propose is we do monitoring. We have to do a report for within the growing season, March, and I believe in October. We have to go out and do a report, and we have to make sure that the vegetation is taking properly. If it is, we kind of leave it as is. If it isn't, then we would come back to the commission and just give you an idea as to what our plans are. It basically be just pretty much providing more wetland CPEX, which we provided a construction sequence on the plan for that as well. So that's really about it. I don't want to overgeneralize, but that's basically the kind of the meat and potatoes of it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission has.
All right. Now, usually we have had you take the material from where you're filling in and moving it to the remediation.
Yep.
So we would have that, I think, as a
It's good to have that natural material
right,
there.
instead of bringing something else from.
Yeah, what would happen is we'll dig out that area, that replication area. It would be a pit mound effect. We use the teeth of the machine, to use that as a pit mound. And then that you put your plants and then your seed mix, get it into the water table, and then ship tape.
Okay, so
We have a very good success rate with that.
all right, so that was,
Mr. Chair, just
okay,
one
hold on.
comment to that.
hold on.
I'm with the.
Well, okay,
going with the-
yeah, okay, now I understand what you want to do, Jim, okay,
We
go
don't
ahead.
have enough material in just that area, so we have to
Just
augment it
state
with
his name.
additional area, because we're gonna be building 6,000 instead of 4,000, so. Just so you're clear that we are gonna have to add material.
Okay, now will you state for the record, will you state,
Other than going for property.
okay, all right, pardon me, Jim, I
No
thought you were, okay. All right, anyone else in the commission have any questions or comments?
No, I'm not saying.
Okay, all right, now, I'm going to open it to anyone from the public that might have a question or comment. But I want to make everyone understand something. The comments are only on what's before the commission, what the commission has the authority to do. The commission has the authority to regulate wetlands. So I'm only going to accept questions or comments about the project that we have before us tonight, which is the crossing of wetlands and a remediation. If you have a question for Mr. Zager or anyone else, the question is put forward through me as chairman. All right, So with that, I'll open up any comment. Yes, please state your
I don't
name.
know if you're gonna be able to answer, but I
Okay,
just want
but
to.
please state your name also.
Sure. John Byerwell, I live at 17 Snuggles.
Okay.
I just had a question about the road that's being built. Is that a public road or is it a driveway?
It doesn't, that doesn't,
Right.
It
I mean,
pertains-
I
it
was
doesn't
hoping
pert-
someone would answer. It's a simple question and I
alright,
didn't know where else or how else to ask it.
I can answer it.
Okay,
if you
all right.
mind, Mr. Chair, it's going to be a private driveway. It's going to be a private driveway, to access the single family home.
okay,
That's the only question.
Okay.
No problem.
yes, sir. So if you'll state your name, hold on, just one second.
I'm sorry, can you repeat your name?
Joseph Leach, 193 Chase Road.
Thank you.
So we did, some topography through there. It's about 2 to 3 feet,
How did they determine that?
through survey.
They never even went on the land over there.
Actually, they did, I remember my leg, remember? And I caught in trespassing.
So
All right, hold on. Okay, he's still answering his question.
So, Mr. Chair, we did a topography, through the wetland. And got survey, they went in through there with their waders on. And got shots, through the wetland, to demonstrate what was there. Because it's important, obviously, we need to know what we're dealing with to be able to do our design. So it was done.
Right. Ma'am,
Mr. Chairman.
yes, will you state your, hold on, okay, please state your name,
I just did,
Okay.
Rachel Leach, 193
all right.
Chase Road.
all right,
Okay, so as far as the comment about waiters and going through, no.
okay,
didn't happen.
that, I mean,
Well, I
ma'am,
just wanna make
okay,
Sure that things are honest.
but, okay, but ma'am, do you have a question? Okay,
Yes.
okay, but we're not gonna have a debate over how or,
Correct.
all right.
Correct. Information being told to
Well,
you.
ma'am,
Not-
okay, ma'am, I'm gonna have to warn you, I think. Ma'am, if you have a question about what Mr.
It's
uh,
the yard I'm talking about.
then you can ask it, but
that's
I don't
what
want
I'm
any,
saying.
I don't want to hear anything about whether or not someone went in with waders and made a correct measurement. That's not the point here. What is your question?
It is the point because the wetlands go from one side to the other side of the front of my property. And then go continue to the next property towards the next property on the other side of the prior's path. Now, with that being said, and this being done, where it's going and where it comes through, there is a creek that goes from one side on my property to the other side that they're speaking of. My question is, how are they gonna alleviate when we have a wet season without letting us about us out?
It's a good question. The reason, the purpose of this is, obviously, we can't flood out the butters, right? That's not the purpose of this. So we provided culverts under the road, under the driveway in order to allow water to pass through, just like it does now. So that's the intent here. That's what we're looking to do. If we 100% agree, if we just willy-nilly just put a driveway in and filled it in and left it as is, then it would be an issue. But there are other driveways along Chase Road that access homes over there that all did the same thing. Over the years, it's done, it's a practice, people have the right to try to access their land, and that's what this was done. I mean, unfortunately, there's a wetland there, and we understand that, but you have to, there's ways to go about it to make it right and in order to design it properly, we put culverts in the road. It's a common practice. So that's what was done.
Okay,
Part of it,
no, hold on,
Yeah.
yes. You want to state your name and your question?
Jared Zatano, 191 B Chase Road. The culvert thing, I understand, but now that you're gonna be removing vegetation from this area and putting in a driveway, the 2 12-inch, to me, is not enough. Now you're opening up a waterway to become faster you should be putting in, I would push for 244 inch. I'm sure you're gonna be using ADS pipe, I assume. But now my concern is, there's a culvert that runs under Chase Road, which they're gonna be coming into, that is, very old. And the water that goes through there now, in my opinion, is wearing it out. So now we're gonna speed up the water. And now that's gonna cause a problem with that culvert that's under the road. When they milled Chase Road a couple of years ago, I brought it to the attention of the town. Now, it's just gonna become a bigger problem. And what's the other thing about the stream? Can you reiterate what you're saying about the river or stream?
So to answer the question about the culvert, the idea is that it's not, there's no stream there, there's no stream channel. So all this is an equalization pipe, it's not speeding up water, all it's doing is allowing water to pass and repass through through the driveway. Okay, so that's the purpose of it, it's not speeding up or slowing down water. It's just allowing water to equalize out and go in the direction it's always been going. As far as the existing culvert, we are not interfering with that at all. There's no additional water that's going there. It's gonna be the same amount of water as that's there now. And as far as the stream goes, as the commission knows, there's two different types of streams. There's an intermittent stream, which is a stream that doesn't flow year round. It can be dry most of the year, if not all the time, and it's just a drainage way. And or a perennial stream. A perennial stream flows year round. It's not shown as a perennial stream on the USGS map. It's a blue line, a solid blue line, so it's not a perennial stream. DEP just asked if they said that there's potential for there to be an intermittent stream there because it's shown on the Mass GIS. However, it's not there. According to the wetland scientists, it's not there. It's no documentation of it.
All right. So what you're basically saying is that it was there, apparently it was
It may
there,
have been
maybe
there
there
at
at one
point.
time, but
It may have been there at one
things have
point, but
changed.
once they started putting driveways in and doing different things along Chase Road and everywhere else, it's just not there. Years and years and years of not being there.
All right,
Hold on, Charlie, I'm on the same question.
all right, okay,
I'm sorry.
all right,
Well, I've been there for 35 years, and that stream runs constant. The two driveways that are there have been there for 25, one's been there for at least 25, and I know that our driveway's been there for 30 years, which has nothing to do with water. But I see that stream every day, day in, day out. It runs. So I don't know who's been giving you the information, or they need to check up on it, but it's a constant running of wet area, constant. And don't tell me that if you're gonna take away vegetation, that you're not gonna speed up any water, because you know as well as I do, that's not true. If you put in woods, and then you take it out and put in a highway, something's gonna move faster, and that's what they're doing. That's my concern on both sides. You're gonna open up from on the other side of the leaches, now the water's gonna run faster through there, under their driveway. Now that's gonna run into our property. By putting in this raceway, basically is what you do. So I'm just concerned on them saying it's not a stream or a river, it is. It runs consistently. Thank you.
all right, we all set, all right, the gentleman in the corner, once again,
Joseph Leach from
Yes.
Anderson Chase Road. I'm very concerned about what he just said because I don't understand why they're saying it's only 3 feet deep of water, but when you got that information, I'm 6 feet tall. And I've been over there and I fell in, it's up to my neck. I'm very concerned about what they're doing now. I'm very concerned about, never mind what they're doing, the vegetation and the wildlife that's in there. It's deep, it's more than just a stream, it's a pond. I can show you pictures on my phone if you want, I can take you over there right now.
Gladly invite you. in.
Something's definitely
Come
wrong.
and see,
all
Mr.
right, ma'am,
I'm very concerned.
He's
with what they're
speaking.
doing with the water.
We provided, pictures of it as well, in the report that we gave you. That has all the
Well-
information on it. And this was just taken yesterday,
Okay.
so that, we provided that documentation.
Does anyone else have any questions? Go ahead, ma'am.
Are the photos from both sides?
Yes,
Right.
So you were on my property then?
no, on the road, ma'am.
I find
Well-
that
You
hard.
can't see it from the.
You can't see it from the road.
There's it's been a little bit for 100 years.
You can't see it from the road.
All right.
It starts further back.
right,
closer
all right.
to my property.
If you have a question, ask the question, but no more comments, okay? Ask a question. If you don't, anyone else have a question? Yes, ma'am.
No, Donna Zatana, 191 Chase Road. It's not a question, it's just a comment to that. Is there something that we can further discuss to consider to 24-inch to maybe satisfy what the concerns are of the abutters?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just
All right.
saying, you know,
Yes.
there seems
Yes.
to be an issue, so
Right.
why don't we try
Right.
and come up with something to satisfy the issue?
Right.
So the idea of a bigger pipe, will just create more fill. Which is an issue. So what we can do is we could add more pipe. We could add additional, if that was a concern. A 12-inch pipe handles a lot of water. Two of them handles a lot of water. We do them in roadways all the time. And in my opinion, it's more than enough to satisfy what's there. But again, you know, I'm telling you, you know, engineering practice, it meets it.
Mhm.
If it's something that Mr. Veloso and Resendes are willing to do, to add some additional pipe, then that's completely up to them.
Anyone else have a question? All right, if no one else on the board,
Let's see the pictures.
Actually, I should have, I apologize, I should have given you guys this before, I printed out actually.
No, that's it. Mhm.
all right,
Can
There'd
somebody
be-
explain to us where that is?
That's standing in the wetland looking into it. There's not even any water in it right now.
How is that possible?
I got. pictures
When was
on
the
my
opinion
phone.
you said now?
Yesterday,
Excuse me?
yesterday.
Yesterday, there was no water.
It was down close.
I'm not trying to start trouble, Charlie, I'm sorry.
no, all right,
Come on.
It's a
okay,
concern.
yeah, all right, I understand, and I understand your concerns. All right. I'm gonna make a suggestion, we'll continue the public hearing until October 3rd, second,
October 2nd is our next
October
meeting
2nd.
at the COA.
At the Council on Aging Building. We'll make an arrangements to go out and take a look, all right? So I don't know, you. We'll discuss among ourselves when's a good time, and then we'll get back to you and we'll work out a good time,
Yeah, so they're gonna have the wetland scientist need to go out there as well.
okay? Might not be a bad idea, bring all the information,
So you can see the date stamp.
Right. yes. All right, so we'll continue the public hearing. We as a commission, all of us or some of us, depending on how we can work things out, next 2 weeks, we'll take a look for ourselves and we'll go from there.
Sounds-
All right,
Thank you.
all right,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Just need the formal motion.
Yes, so make a formal motion, here, a formal motion to continue to October 2nd at the COA.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thanks, the COA, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
COA?
Yeah.
COA.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
When would you go to look, at the properties?
Uh-huh.
And I just make a suggestion that you also look, across the street.
Uh-huh.
Which is concern that my son
Uh,
talking
yeah,
about.
okay, all right.
Try to
Yeah,
address
we'll
that.
take a look at, everything, okay? Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Much bigger pipes under your.
Under my driveway.
I think you have a good point.
Yeah.
When you come to my house, please check it.
Yeah.
We'll look at everything, ma'am, okay? We'll look at everything, okay.
Historical records from, like some people, they are the initial owners of their property. But it was Russell Free that owned it, and I remember he had to go, to conservation, DEP. And I want to say they have bigger pipes. I think they have 224s under their road, which is,
We can look,
well, which is, they're here and their proprietor's way is here, so it is the same body of
Alright.
water movement, so that's
I'm not trying
really,
to start nothing,
Uh-huh.
but
no, but you
But-
see,
there's like, there's turtles in there, spotted ones and everything. I don't
well,
understand.
well,
what they-
everything will be investigated, okay?
all right, that's all we can
And
ask.
If you like,
But
please,
other
I will go down with my, I don't
I will
know
have to
why
check
you
if
have
wanna
an
email me
issue with me
tomorrow
or you don't like me.
address,
I don't-
I don't know why I get that feeling.
That's
Well,
That, like dismissive and don't wanna hear it. I'm not that person, sir.
Well,
I,
ma'am,
the events
I
that
don't
led
know
up
how
to this,
you can.
I'm very upset.
All right.
Number one, number two, I would
right.
gladly, please come to my property.
You
All
want
right,
me to-
we're going to go, down and look through the project.
You cannot see it from the
Okay.
street. I'm not
All
lying.
right, but as I just said, we're gonna go and we're gonna take a look, okay?
Definitely,
All right,
please.
well,
I will go down with my crutches and show you. I mean, I
so you
just.
know, that guy's work people.
Okay,
left
that would be
one
great.
for the
I
woods with
appreciate
a
it.
broken leg, screaming bloody murder.
Alright.
In the fire department, I forget her.
He had to move my kneecap to put a rod down my leg,
okay.
like Conor McGregor. Like, seriously, it was awful. And this is not stopping. I just finally got back on my legs. I had no weight bearing for over 2 months because of this. And it's still going.
Okay,
And I have cameras out there.
okay,
He already had no trespassing on my property when I broke my leg.
okay.
I mean, I'm so disturbed about the whole situation and to be acted like I'm being dismissed and you could care less, just really, really bothers me. It really
I
bothers me
asked you,
because I'm not
I
that kind
asked,
of person.
but I asked the beginning, I asked people to go, ask a question one at a
I
time.
was.
And you started to blurt out, but that's beside the point. That's water under the dam. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll be out to take a look, right?
Definitely,
Okay,
definitely, because there's also, the Rosses on the opposite side of us. The tunnels are on this side, Rosses are on the other.
Mhm.
That's where the stream starts.
We really
Okay.
can't deliberate
Yeah.
the project.
Well, no, I'm
Continue
just
the
but,
hearing.
yeah, but
Please
we're all
stop.
set.
Closely.
But we had a hearing.
Mhm.
It's time to go on. Okay, we've been very patient with you people tonight. Okay, well, ma'am, because the hearing is over. Now you're trying to talk to us. So please either be done. or
Well,
sit
you're an
down.
elected official, right?
No, I'm not.
No, you're not. You're
No,
just
I'm not.
appointed.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Have a good night.
You too, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay.
All right, all right, folks. Uh,
I'm happy we're going to go look. Because if they're saying it's a running stream and
Right.
Niles is saying nothing's there. We need eyes on it.
I mean, in pictures. It's just showing dry ground. I mean, is there water? He was saying, Miles was saying there was 3 to 4 feet of water, but I don't see any water in these
Yeah,
pictures.
well,
To be fair, I think that's separate spot. I think this is those pictures were,
Right, but
might have been
This is not
specifically.
replication area.
no,
No, but I think that was, so when you have to declare, when you're changing kind of like the declaration of whether a stream is perennial, intermittent or not there. You have to go over a series, I think of a couple days to declare that or something like that. So I think this is specifically about the stream. I don't,
Yes.
think- so that he may have
Yes.
not got pictures of where it's standing water. If this is just about the stream and showing that it's not intermittent or jurisdictional at all.
And is this driveway gonna be that 180 feet? Is that what it's?
Uh,
13
I'm
feet
not
and then-
sure. We really shouldn't deliberate on the project
Oh,
though.
yeah,
Just,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah.
but if you have any questions, you
Yeah.
can email me
Yeah.
and I can.
All right. Discussion and take action relative to issuing fines for 112 South Main Street.
Can we just find them $5,000 for every?
Well,
No.
Uh,
I am all for finding them to the fullest extent we can. Were we talking $100
okay,
or?
let me, I'll just fill in a little bit on, what you probably heard at what one time, Margaret, I'm not sure if we never had the documentation, we just talked conversation, but back in June, we had spoken to a attorney from, KP.
Right, no,
Okay,
we discussed
okay,
this
all right,
last
I will,
meeting,
yeah.
didn't we? Yeah,
Well, yeah, okay, I
yeah.
didn't know for
Yeah.
sure. All right.
Yeah.
So now it comes to deciding to fine when we're gonna start the fine period and what the sum is. Now, I believe the sum we can do, the maximum sum we can, just so we know what the maximum sum is.
So I pulled up our existing enforcement policy. It's in our rules and regulations. So it says may be punished by a fine of not more than $300 each day or portion thereof during which a violation continues or unauthorized fill or other alteration remains in place shall constitute a separate offense. In each provision of the bylaw, regulations, permits, and or administrative orders violated shall constitute a separate offense. So you can do per day, if that's what the commission wishes. We have, to my knowledge, we have not issued fines before,
Mhm.
so we just want to make sure we're kind of setting a precedent of how we'll move forward with other violations as well. So we just want to keep that in mind and make sure, we're gonna be consistent with this in the future. Whatever amount we set now, we should probably be consistent with.
Okay, and with that, were you at the selectmen's meeting when I met Margaret? Were you at this? Okay, I had advised the board that we were probably going to need to do this action. And the only way we can actually collect, unless the person is willing to pay the fine, go on, is through civil action. And that would, of course, involve the selectmen authorizing to take the civil action. So we had spoken, now the board was concerned that we, be consistent. Because we've never had, to our knowledge, an issue like this before, so the consistency starts now.
Yep.
And what the policy we have now is kind of vague. I had spoken to Victoria, and we're going to try to get up a clearer policy and more of a form of, if we do about orders, who can issue an order and how we go about finding from the very start. So we'll have to come up with like, say, a sum or a range in new regulations. In those new regulations, you have to have a public hearing. You have to have a public hearing before. All right, so, that being said, I guess, what do we want to do as the fine? How do we want to, state them to begin with?
I thought that we had just discussed this, whether it was last meeting or when, and we kind of came down on the $100. Isn't that what, or am I mistaken?
But-
We said that we wanted to recoup whatever it's gonna cost us for the town lawyer to go to court.
Right. Right.
Well, just so we know, not that it gotta happen, when you do file a civil action, you can request
Yeah.
attorney's fees. So, but we want to have some type of I guess, understanding what we would do now and what we would do in the future if, say, next week something happened. So, I would kind of suggest, I'm just gonna put out my personal opinion, and it's just
Mhm.
exactly that, of one commissioner, that we maybe $100 a day would be an appropriate fine. Because I think we wanted to have a bite. But seeing it's the first and looking at things to come, maybe I think maybe $100 is an appropriate.
Would it be possible to say day 1 through 15 would be 100? If it goes beyond 15 days, maybe scale it up? Because I just feel like if they haven't done anything in 2 weeks, we need to bite them harder.
Okay,
And just at least coming to us and saying, all right, what do I need to do? I'll start doing, just something
Mhm.
would then stop that. So it wouldn't get to that point, even if they haven't done the remediation or whatever we want them to do within that
Mhm.
time. But if, like for instance, 112 South Main, crickets,
right,
so.
and continue on.
Yeah, and I know, but
Yes,
what do you think about that?
right. First of all, all he has to do to comply is to file a notice of intent.
Right.
And, the brakes are put on, we go on from there.
Right.
So, I'm not opposed to, the idea of increasing the fines as it goes along. I think the, DEP regulation may, not that, but who knows, have a ceiling of $25,000. I think I read that, but
That rings a bell, yeah.
yeah. So anyhow, Steve,
Well, the whole thing is you've already, 3 months into this, 3 or 4 months
Right.
into this? So if he's probably already reached the max that you can charge. I mean,
well, yeah,
But we have,
but we would start now. Like
right,
say,
we can't
we
retroactive.
can't, yeah,
the
no, you
fine.
can't retroactive, but the fine, but we can do from, tomorrow or whenever. That's another issue we can come back to, but
yes, I would go along with Margaret's theory is you need to increase it after. Give him 15 days at $100 a day or whatever, and then go to 200. And if he hasn't done it by the end of the month, then it goes to the 300, the maximum is just.
okay, all right. That sounds good. Then the thing would, do we want to start the fines before we have a positive, well, has in the past, have they accepted registered mail?
Depends on where it goes.
Yes, depends on where it goes. So for fines, they always go to the property owner.
Right.
Mhm.
Now, in our prior notifications, I know I hand delivered one to the property owner's agent.
Mhm.
Have we sent certified mail to the property owners and have either one of them signed off?
Yes, I have received green slips back before the
Okay.
return receipt.
All right. Okay, with that in mind, do we want to start tomorrow or do we want to start once the notification has been officially made?
I would have to say, once you get his signature, that he's been notified, it would be better than trying to start it like, kind of like blindsided.
Mhm.
If you're giving it, if you start it now,
Mhm.
'cause once he signs the letter of agreement, then, I mean, once he signed for that mail, then he's been notified. You could start the payment, the fines from that day on. He'll have the signature on the thing, right, cause he has to
Mhm.
accept it,
Yeah,
so.
you
Right.
could always too, I believe you can have police drop it off, hand deliver it. I'm not sure if that would be cleaner, that way whatever date I have to put,
That might be better.
I have to put a date like on the ticket.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's probably cleaner if it's kind of a same day thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay,
It might be a little bit better enforcement wise if the
Mhm.
police show up
Mhm.
and not just the mailman.
Mhm.
Just saying.
all right, so. A motion. First one would be to, make a fine of $100 per day for the first 2 weeks. Or until the time that the property owner makes contact, well, the property owner files a notice of intent. That sound right?
Mhm.
And, that the fines start upon, proof of, service of the order. That sound right?
So you're not gonna go up after the 2 weeks?
Um,
I just wanna make
yes,
sure it's
yeah.
clear.
yes.
So do we want to do 2 weeks or 15 days? I was only
Maybe.
going the 15 days because that's more a half a month, but
Okay,
it doesn't,
all right.
doesn't really matter.
15 days,
15 days, and then are we going to up it again at 30?
I suppose so.
Or do you want, after 2 weeks, you go to the 200, then after the month,
Okay.
it goes to 300.
And then say fines will cease upon filing of
Filing.
NOA,
Filing, yeah.
NOI.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what, would you mind just reading
Or
back the,
how, I'm trying to make this like formal.
Yep.
How
Yeah.
about fines will begin on date of? What's that word you use?
service?
Service,
Yes,
until the date of the NOI filing. That way, it's a clear, this is when it will start, this is when it will end.
Okay.
Oh, you reached 25 grand. What comes first?
You want me to read it back?
yes.
Yes. So, motion to begin fining on date of service, $100 per day for the first 15 days. And then after that, 200 days until the 30 days, then it will be sorry, that's so wordy. And then after the 30 days, it will be $300 per day until an NOI is filed.
Sounds.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Yes.
Okay.
All
Alright.
fines will cease. When
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, so-
Okay.
I can,
Yeah.
cause I have to do up a letter in
Yeah.
association with the ticket, I can word it better.
okay, all right,
Okay,
I'll accept the, I'll
oh, I'll make
accept
that
the
motion.
motion made,
I'll second it.
motion made and seconded, all in favor, say aye, aye. All right. Discussion vote on changing minutes, dates and times.
So, if I
Yeah.
may, Charlie,
Yes,
so
please
the
do.
reason why I asked for this to be on the agenda is again, is because the reason you guys wanted to change the meeting times was that it was on the same nights as the selectmen meetings. So when I went to go book the room for the rest of the year, the selectmen meetings have meetings the first and third Monday. So I think their schedule is the first and third Monday, but then they sometimes have additional meetings, or I think they kind of flex the schedule. So I just wanted to let you guys know, you will definitely miss all of the selectmen's meetings for the rest of the year.
All right, can we go back to 2 and 4?
2 and 4,
Yes.
okay, sorry,
Alright.
guys.
Do you guys mind?
No, no. All right, motion made and seconded,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
to go back to, second and fourth Monday of the month.
I
All in favor?
honestly think the BOS just wings it,
Yeah.
just.
Well, if you look on the website, technically it does say their meetings are the first and third, but I think sometimes they may change the schedule. I do wanna bring up, so our next meeting is October 2nd, so that one
Which
we
is the first,
continue,
yes.
yep, so that's the first.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Then we'll take like 3 weeks off.
I
Yeah.
think so because, sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up. So town meeting,
This is the 23rd.
right, which would have been the fourth Monday.
Uh-huh.
So depending on how the meeting on October 2nd goes, we can see if we're gonna have, maybe we need to have a meeting on the 30th.
Mm.
I mean, we could wait to see how it goes. I mean, if we need to have.
Or we can do the one before the 23rd.
I think Charlie, is that
Yeah.
the one you said you were gonna be
Yeah.
away?
Yeah, I will be away.
It might be
Oh,
tough to get a quorum, but we
Yeah,
can
so
try.
we'll just, everybody can wait.
Okay,
Everybody can wait,
okay, I just wanted to bring that up. Okay,
especially if it's a resentment.
all right, so I
Um,
think that was all I had.
Minutes.
Okay, yes. Approval of the minutes for August 14, 2023.
I'm good with the minutes and I'm friends with him, President Ives is on this minutes. I was at the BO Board of Health meeting. Last Monday, last Wednesday, whenever it was. And we were approving the minutes and I'm like, I noticed that the gentleman that spoke at the end of the meeting wasn't there and they all looked at me and went, what? And I said, you know, we were ready to adjourn the meeting and then this gentleman spoke and
You were
and
talking
they're
about
all
our
looking at me
minutes.
going, what are you talking now? And I said, the guy who's afraid to mow his front lawn. And Kevin looks at me and goes, was that the Concom meeting? Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll,
Is something missing?
no.
Right, mighty mower is on here.
Oh, okay, all right, just making sure.
It wasn't on the Board of Health.
I'll accept the motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of August, whatever it was, 14. All in favor? Aye. All right. Before we do adjourn, I had spoken about 2 weeks, well, I guess 2 meetings ago, maybe. Maybe coming up with a policy to allow some actions to be basically administratively approved,
right,
such as, remember, this is something that got under my claw, I will admit. Remember the couple that came in for the pool?
Yep.
Okay, the pool was 90, the pool structure that was there was 90 feet. And they wanted to replace it and they came before the board, like if like Victoria could administratively approve, basically say, hey, okay, all we're gonna do is go through the formality of, doing it because it's basically just replacing a structure that's there and that that type of thing, some
Mhm.
other things. Oh, you know, similar to that. But we'll work out a little bit, you know, stronger language and so forth. But I guess my question is, do we generally agree on that idea?
Yeah,
Okay. Sure,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, if a lot of what we do is rubber stamping, a lot of what we do, we really do need to talk to
Mhm.
them. We have, you know, conditions to give
Right.
them and stuff.
Right.
But something like that pool is,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's already one there, you're just taking
Right.
this one down,
Right.
putting another one up,
right.
Right.
no conditions, but,
Right.
so. I think we can trust Victoria to know that.
Yeah,
My question, though, is, God forbid, Victoria leaves us and somebody else comes in. Will we have that trust?
Mhm.
So
well,
that's my only concern.
With instituting like a fountain, I see
If
what you're
it's a
saying.
well,
formal
but
thing.
of course, if we had it in the job description,
But then that would go on. That means
Right,
the
okay.
next person would also
Yeah,
have that
well,
power. Power, ability, I don't know what you wanna
Mhm.
call it. Is there something we can just sign that says Victoria can do this? Do you know what I'm saying? I don't wanna open it up that,
Right, I know what you're saying. I mean. Yeah, I mean, so you could probably institute the form and maybe give the authority for myself and or the chair, whether it's Charlie, whoever at the time, to sign.
Mhm.
And then maybe that's something that can be visited if you ever have new staff. Or
yeah, sort
anything
of
like
like,
that.
like the forms that we filled for Charlie to sign for us.
yeah, okay,
Right.
Kind of the same
Yeah,
concept.
so you
Yeah.
could probably, I mean, I
Okay.
think instituting the form probably wouldn't be like a yearly thing, but who has the authority to sign it? You could, you know,
Yeah.
kind of renew that like you do with that, I'd imagine.
okay.
Yeah.
Something to think about, folks, in next couple of weeks as we try to get new regulations.
Yeah.
So,
Do we wanna try and set a date for Resendus? If we're trying to do that in the next
yeah.
couple
Oh,
weeks?
yeah.
um,
I have not been on site yet either. Who wants to work?
Steve, I guess really the thing is you are the wild card here, since you work.
I work.
Margaret teaches.
Oh, you still teach? Pardon me, I thought you were retired.
I cannot, I'm going to have to die at the front.
Steve, what does your, and Margaret, what does your availability look like?
I'm good, I don't know if you're good during the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm free, but I'm free Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, I can, of course, if it needs to be done on a weekend, I'll make myself available.
How early can you in the afternoon?
You tell me what day you wanna do it and I'll just make it available. How's that? I'll make it easier for everybody.
How about you, Margaret? Like sometime in the afternoon? I'm thinking like,
Fridays, I get home at 3,
mhm,
but I don't get home until like 4:30, 5 o'clock on a Monday or a Wednesday.
But Tuesday or Thursday, you said.
Tuesday, Thursday, I babysit at 3, so it would have to be, I would have to be back home for that.
And earlier would be okay for you, Steve?
Yeah, that's fine. You
Could
tell me.
we do like an 8 or a 9 AM?
That's good with me.
would that work?
Yeah. Well,
We can do it on.
I
the
have plenty of
weekend.
vacation time. so
You
this
tell-
way-
no,
No,
I
no,
have
no,
plenty
no,
of sick
no,
time.
You want
the
a
only-
Saturday or a Sunday?
Saturday's fine,
All right.
Saturday morning.
Are you good with it? Because I'm just, you know, I mean, I don't want you to,
Or anytime, like,
all right,
if you wanna do it this week or next week, anytime after 3 o'clock. Or around 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
But she can't do
she
it,
she can't do
cause
that.
she
I
babysits.
can, only on a
Saturday's fine.
Friday, I can do it on a Friday. not this Friday,
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
but the
wanted-
22nd. Well, we have
Well, we do it Saturday then, if you can do it, can you do it this Saturday?
this Saturday, all right,
Well-
I have family from Texas coming this.
Yeah, we
weekend.
probably want to
Okay,
maybe,
yeah.
All right,
maybe the,
2 Saturdays from now.
maybe the
2
23rd.
Saturdays.
Or the 30th, there's gonna be a couple days before the meeting. But I don't know if you want it a little sooner, just in case.
Why don't we try the 23rd?
23rd, I'm free.
That's the, will be our go date, and the 30th is like Niles or.
If they can't,
Okay.
If they can't make it.
What time is good for anybody?
preferably in the morning. I might
Yeah.
have to go to the Harvest Festival to promote the master plan. And I also have
What
my
Harvest
nephew's
Festival?
birthday party, turning 1.
Aw,
So,
Got a nephew, I got a grandnephew who just turned 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, I'm up at 4 AM, so anytime after that.
I'm awake
Me
at 4
too.
AM, but I'm not up there.
coyotes are still running in the woods at that time.
All right, the other day
Yeah.
I was up at 12:30 AM, so yeah.
How about like 9 o'clock? On a Saturday?
Does that work for anyone or?
That works?
That works.
All right, because we'll we'll be able to see everything by then.
Where and how
Um,
do you get that? Is it on?
It's like, so it'll probably be, Niles might have a spot where he might explain where we can park.
Okay.
You know, I'm not sure if you can just pull off to the side. I know it's
I don't
very,
like pulling off
very-
the Chase Road.
I don't know, but it's very wooded. Maybe it's better idea to kind of carpool.
Yeah, maybe we
Meet
Park
at
here.
the
Maybe
police
we could
station,
even
yeah.
park here
and take
How
one
far
vehicle.
up Chase is it?
It's south. Off of Chase. I'm sorry, I'm a visual person.
so.
We're going on Chase and in, right?
Right.
Yes, it's
down,
Chase Road.
isn't it, it's down here just before the first bend. The first shot bend.
Like right before, like near the Zatanos, 191. I know it by address, I don't. in looking at this. Do you
So,
want me to pull it up?
Yeah,
so it's just before,
Oh,
if you're
wait a
going
minute.
back, as you're
I
going
can
home
yes,
on Chase Road,
yep,
it's just before the first sharp curve
okay,
on the right side of the road.
0.4 miles,
Oh, you found it? You got it?
yeah.
Okay, because this is, the Wi-Fi is going very slow. So Saturday, October 23rd at 9, or if that doesn't work for the engineer and the wetland scientist, October 30th at 9.
September?
It's September, oh my
yeah.
gosh, it's October. I am having a long day, guys. I
Yes.
am so sorry.
No problem.
September. Okay. Alrighty, I will send that out tomorrow and finalize the date and of course confirm with you guys and any other details necessary. So since you're all gonna be there, I do just wanna say that we're
Yeah.
really not supposed to
can't talk.
deliberate.
Don't,
Yeah,
don't
so-
say anything about it.
Yeah,
We also cannot talk.
we will be on private property as well, when like, you know, so it's,
Are we allowed to go on their property?
Yes, yes,
We are,
yes.
Okay.
Statute. Hold on. We'll take this up later. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second,
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Okay.